We have invited you here to tell you about some very bold steps that Brock is planning to take to strengthen the university's own foundation and to increase our capacity to partner with the community to advance the development of this region economically, socially, and culturally. The twin sets of priorities is directly linked to Brock's philosophy to be a university that develops both sides of the brain, a notion represented in the bold, sometimes even edgy imagery of this campaign. We feel this concept nicely captures the diverse and special qualities and benefits of a Brock education, of the interdisciplinary efforts that we value in research and creative endeavors, and in breaching that boundary that can separate the traditional academy from its community. At Brock, we take a multidisciplined approach to higher education that helps students develop not just their rational and analytic side, but also their emotional and creative side. Tonight, we are launching the campaign for a bold new Brock, and by the end of 2012, we intend to raise $75 million.
Brock has afforded me opportunities that I wouldn't get anywhere else. So having the opportunity to get to participate in the community and volunteer initiatives and fundraising opportunities, to getting to meet staff and administration in various capacities with different campaigns or with different initiatives that are going on at the university.
Brock, what Brock meant to me when I first arrived to Brock years ago was that it allowed me to awaken my mind, the creative side of my mind. I joined the arts program. What it means to me today is it was my first disruptor in my lifestyle and in the way I thought my life would unfold. So it allowed me to reflect in a new way and challenge myself.
In my third year, third academic year, I start thinking, well, what's my future going to be? What am I doing this for? And I realized that, well, I want to go on and do postgraduate work. I want to get a master's degree. I want to be a prof. I want to come back here and contribute and play the role that some of my professors have been playing in my life and showing me that I had potential, showing me that I could live a good life and could contribute. And so I sit down and I start to work hard. I start to actually realize, hey, you can actually do what your profs are telling you can do. You can get those marks things that people are always talking about. And unfortunately, about 2/3 of the way through first semester of my third year, the financial picture became very, very bleak. My mom, like I said, had always sacrificed, had always tried to do what she could to support us, and heaven knows it was tight, but we made it through. And unfortunately, come the late fall of third year, my mother was diagnosed with cancer. And at the time, we didn't know if she would be around. We didn't know what she could contribute anymore. And I had just sat down to work on my budget, and I had realized that that I only had enough money to either pay for December's rent or to buy food. It's certainly not enough money to pay January's rent, let alone to buy books starting of January. And I certainly, at that point, I couldn't turn to my mom and say, you know, I need money. She was under enormous stress, and I wasn't going to do that. My mom worked as hard as she could. I worked as hard as I could. But it would not have been possible if it was not for the generous donations of the people like you and people in the Brock community. And I owe part of my dream, and my mom owes part of her dream to you and to those people. And so I thank you, and I encourage you to continue on in this good faith and in those endeavors. And I hope I've shown you that what you do really does have an impact on the students here. My story is not unique. There are many others like me, and I hope you give them the opportunity to be here too.
I think it's very important that the community gets involved and really gives back to Brock, because I think Brock has a lot to offer, and Niagara has a lot to offer. So I really hope people step up and really get behind this campaign.
We cannot afford to wait for others to show us the way. Today, Brock is asking us to invest in our future. And so I say to you, everyone who came out here tonight, in order to invest in our future, we must invest in our university, because it is ours. We must invest in a bold new Brock.
Brock to me is home, really. When I first left like sort of small town Fort Erie, and so this was the the first stepping stone really out into the world, and this is where I met the greater part of my support network now, my friends, people who I consider my family, and that's what Brock is. Brock is a community. It's friends, it's family, it's home.